Immutable makes software for video game developers who use blockchain technology in their games. So anyone who wants to, whether it's minting blockchain assets, selling blockchain assets, doing in-game trading between players, Immutable exists to help those other studios to make more money, to retain their players, and to help players get back some of the value that they spend on their video game items. Gaming obviously is one of the fastest growing and most innovative industries in the world, and fusing that with a new set of technologies where there aren't really any major established players in our industry means that the pace can be really fast and the opportunity can be really, really large. I'm Alex Connolly. We're here at the offices of Immutable. I'm the co-founder of Immutable and I'm the Chief Technology Officer, which means that everything that we build, I have something to do with. So all three of the Immutable founders were avid video game players and traders and had been for many years. When blockchain technology started getting to the point where it was capable of sustaining these types of economies, we actually began as a game studio building games which use this technology. And what we found over time was we had a bunch of problems doing so, and we solved those problems for ourselves, and then we figured that we should scale that and solve those problems for other people too. The journey began back in 2018. We were, I think it was 3 people in a co-working space. I think we actually only paid for 2 desks, and so we were sort of crammed in there. I think a big moment for us was when we got our own room in the co-working space, and we were very much like a classic startup. We had other jobs at different times. We would come into the office after work, and we would do jobs that we were horrendously unqualified for, but we managed to make a product that people really loved, and that grew into what Immutable is today. I think there were probably like several moments of sort of hope and then false dawn. I think there was probably a point in late 2018 when our first sort of like major game, Gods Unchained, we were just getting that game off the ground. We had its first demo out, we were selling assets, and I think that's when we realized that our initial success hadn't just been about one particular game. There was actually a market here that lots and lots of people and lots of game developers were really interested in. I think some of the things that have helped make us successful, firstly, the people who work here, we've got an amazing team. We've been able to be at the forefront of the Australian crypto industry now for a number of years, and that's meant that we have access to some amazing talent who've helped us build the business. One thing that we definitely have access to here in Australia is that we can be really competitive when it comes to engineering talent. There aren't as many software engineers in Australia as there are in other major markets like the US. But there are also fewer companies that are trying to hire them. If we can get into that top echelon, one thing that we found really challenging early on was hiring that top tier of Australian talent. But once we got there, Australia punches above its weight when it comes to our top tier of software engineers, and giving them a high quality, inspirational sort of company they could come and work for and stay in Australia, where a lot of people want to stay anyway, is an amazing offer we can make to talent. Gaming is going to continue to be a larger and larger part of the world in which we all inhabit. I think everyone is spending more time in these worlds, they're spending more money in these worlds, they're spending more of themselves in these worlds. We think that initially blockchain tools for games were a whole sort of subgenre of games that would use these tools. Now we're just finding that lots of different games, all sorts of genres, sizes, different geographies, customers from all over the world are using this technology, and maybe it's only for one feature in their game, maybe it's for their whole game. They're using it to make sure that they stand out in a pretty crowded marketplace. In gaming, if you're not actually trying to create better experiences for players all the time, you will get absolutely left behind. And blockchain is one of the most powerful tools that game developers have to enable those new features.